Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JIS news for Monday, August 26, 2024. Minister of Finance and the Public Service Dr. Nigel Clark is to demit office in October to take up a senior position with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Minister Clark's appointment as Deputy Managing Director of the IMF will take effect on October 31, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said he greets the news with immense pride, congratulating Dr. Clark on what he says is a historic and important development.
I wholeheartedly congratulate Nigel on today's announcement of his pending appointment as Deputy Managing Director of the IMF.
Mr. Holness says the Finance Minister will be the first Jamaican or person from the Caribbean or Central America to serve at this level at the IMF in its 80-year history. The Prime Minister continues that this development is a tremendous net gain for Jamaica and the Caribbean. He also indicates that the elevation of Minister Clark is demonstrative of the depth, strength and capacity of his administration. As for the matter of Mr. Clark's replacement, Mr. Holness says he has already identified suitable replacement candidates.
The government has identified successors to Nigel in both his ministerial and parliamentary responsibilities, and there will be a smooth transition in both capacities. We will provide updates in due course, and the public can expect policy continuity and a continuation of the economic achievements that this government has worked so hard to secure.
Over the course of his public sector career, Nigel Clark has made outstanding contributions to the country as chairman of the NHT, Heart Trust and the Port Authority. In addition to his current position as Minister of Finance and the Public Service, he also served as a Senator and Ambassador of Economic Affairs. Dr. Clark was integral in the negotiation process of Jamaica's 2016 agreement with the IMF, which included the early termination of the Extended Fund Facility and the entry into a precautionary standby agreement. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, has instructed the Jamaica Public Service Company to reduce some customers' bills in the next billing period and reissue those bills issued in August with zero consumption that do not show a corresponding zero money value. Bills issued in September are to be reduced by the difference in JPS's fuel cost in July compared to June. The directive was given on Friday in response to mounting concerns from JPS customers who have complained of abnormally high electricity bills in the wake of Hurricane Beryl. Early on Friday, the Minister of Energy, Darrell Vaz, reiterated the government's position that the 30+% increases being reflected in electricity bills is untenable.
The position of the government of Jamaica remains a full rollback of the increases. A refund or a credit to those who have paid, and that nothing should be confirmed or concluded until the OUR reviews the recent increases.
In the meantime, the OUR says it has commenced an investigation into the current billing complaints. The agency says it will determine what, if any, remedies are necessary once the relevant information has been received from the JPS and analyzed. Minister Vaz is also urging the regulator to extend its powers into the present and not just conduct a post-analysis of the matter when it might be too late for JPS to be held accountable.
I'm also concerned about word emerging that the OUR was blindsided concerning the increases. If this is so, that is unacceptable.
In a statement Friday, the OUR said it did not have prior notice of the scale and extensiveness of the JPS bill increase for August. The National Housing Trust, NHT, is preparing for an additional 100 claims under its Homeowners Comprehensive Policy, or Peril Insurance, by the end of the deadline, which is today. The claims are from mortgagors whose properties sustained damage during the recent passage of Hurricane Beryl. Corporate Risk and Insurance Manager at the NHT, Stephen Clark, says the trust is equipped to handle the anticipated volume of claims. He reveals that the organization is deploying resources across all branches and streamlining processes to ensure affected individuals receive timely support and assistance. So far, the over 170 submissions that have been received are being processed.
We're happy that it is not the worst that we'd have seen. The worst that would have seen would be Hurricane Ivan in 2004, which we saw 1,758 submissions. We expect something a little bit under 300 this time around.
Mr. Clark says most of the claims have come from residents in Manchester, St. Elizabeth and Clarendon, which are the areas most affected. He emphasizes the NHT's commitment to transparent communication and ongoing support during this time. For the first time ever, government has built and opened an oxygen plant in Jamaica to diversify the supply of medical-grade oxygen to the public health system. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton opened the new plant on the grounds of the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital last Thursday. It was built with funding of over 125 million Jamaican dollars from UNICEF and the Government of Canada.
Today's launch/turning on of our own generating capacity for medical oxygen is historic. Today, I am indeed pleased that we have gotten to this stage. It is an essential stage or step towards resilience. It reaffirms the commitments that have been made by the government, by the ministry. It supports the partnership that has remained strong and will only strengthen.
Plans to expand the supply of medical oxygen to mitigate the risks associated with a single supplier and single method of oxygen supply were disclosed in 2021 when a COVID-19 surge heightened demand of the life-saving medicine. The government's partners on the project say the collaborative work will continue.
The collaboration between UNICEF, the government of Jamaica, and the Canadian government exemplify how international cooperation can advance health outcomes and save lives.
We are thrilled that improved supply of and access to medical oxygen will be a positive legacy of Jamaica's pandemic response and Canada's support.
The plant will produce high-purity oxygen by separating it from nitrogen in the atmospheric air. Through the plant, more oxygen will be made readily available for piping at beds. UNICEF will provide maintenance up to December 2024 through contractual arrangements with the plant manufacturer Novair. Preliminary work is also in progress to build another pressure swing absorption PSA oxygen plant that will be located at the Maypen Hospital. And finally, the state-owned transportation service in Western Jamaica, Montego Bay Metro, has received a significant boost to its fleet with the addition of 12 new buses. During a recent tour of the Bogue Depot, Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz highlighted the significance of placing additional buses in Western Jamaica.
This is going to make a huge impact in the back to school and the routes that are served. So they're going to upgrade from 5 servicing 5 schools, dedicated service for 5 schools to 9, and they're going to continue to serve 4 parishes.
This moves the number of routes being serviced by Montego Bay Metro from 5 to 11. Minister Vaz says the government is also considering adding buses better suited for difficult terrain.
I will be making allocations out of the next order of buses so that some of the buses that come here from the next order will be able to ply what I call the rural routes. In Kingston we have the same sort of routes that require smaller buses to navigate the roads and the topography of the parishes. Especially in Kingston we call them the hill routes, and I suspect that you will probably call them similar down here.
Of the 12 new buses, 2 are specially equipped to accommodate passengers with special needs. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.